The emperor's burden was not the weight of Rome, but the unending struggle within. He understood a truth most men today are too distracted to grasp. The external world is a mere reflection of the inner landscape. Your empire, your peace, your very strength, it all begins and ends with you. This is not a message of comfort. It is a summons to the hard realities that forged empires and endure through millennia. It's the voice of Marcus Aurelius, speaking across 2,000 years, directly to the modern man besieged by chaos. He ruled an empire vast and troubled, faced plagues, wars, and the gnawing anxieties of leadership. Yet, his greatest battles were fought not on the frontier, but within the walls of his own mind. This internal discipline, this rigorous examination of his own thoughts and reactions, is the core of his enduring legacy. It is a legacy that offers no easy answers, but a potent framework for navigating the complexities of existence with fortitude and clarity. Consider the constant barrage of information, the incessant demands, the fleeting pleasures that masquerade as fulfillment. The modern man is adrift in a sea of external validation, constantly seeking approval, constantly comparing his perceived shortcomings to idealized illusions. He is a slave to opinion, a pawn of circumstance, his inner citadel vulnerable to every gust of external fortune. Marcus Aurelius would tell you that this external focus is the root of your discontent. The turmoil you feel is not a reaction to events themselves, but to your judgment of those events. This is the fundamental axiom of Stoicism. It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Your suffering is self-inflicted, a consequence of a mind untrained, untamed. He would point to the soldier on the battlefield, not cowering, but focused on his duty, on the single action he can perform in that moment. The outcome is uncertain, the danger real, but his domain is his own resolve, his own execution of skill. The emperor's advice is this: direct your energy to where it can have effect, your own mind, your own character, your own actions. Where does a man begin this arduous task? He begins with observation. He begins by watching his own thoughts, his own impulses, his own knee-jerk reactions. He learns to identify the faulty judgments, the irrational fears, the emotional outbursts that hijack his rational mind. This is not about suppression. It is about understanding, about seeing the mechanics of the mind at work. Do not be deceived by the illusion of control over external events. You cannot command the economy, nor the opinions of others, nor the health of your body, with absolute certainty. These are externals, subject to the grand sweep of fate, the cosmic order. To rage against them, to lament their perceived injustice, is to wage war against the nature of reality itself. This acceptance is not resignation. It is profound liberation. It is the recognition of your true sphere of influence, your will, your assent, your actions. When a man understands this, he sheds the futile burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. He turns his gaze inward, and there, he finds a power that no external force can touch. He would also stress the virtue of action, but action aligned with reason and purpose. Not action for the sake of appearing busy, not action driven by ego or the pursuit of fleeting acclaim, but action that contributes to the common good, action that aligns with your nature as a rational social being. The path of the Stoic is not one of passive contemplation alone, but of virtuous engagement with the world, guided by inner principle. The modern man is bombarded with messages that tell him to feel his feelings, to express every fleeting emotion as if it were gospel. Aurelius would urge a different path, the path of examination, of discerning which feelings are rational and which are merely the product of faulty judgments or societal conditioning. He saw emotions not as guides, but as signals that require intelligent interpretation. Consider the man who feels slighted. His first impulse might be anger, resentment. Aurelius would prompt him to ask, is this slight real? Is it within my control? What is the rational response? This process of questioning, of interposing reason between impulse and action, is the very essence of self-mastery. He understood that true strength is not in the absence of hardship, but in the capacity to face it with equanimity. It is the ability to maintain inner peace amidst external storms, to remain unyielding in one's commitment to reason and virtue, regardless of the circumstances. This is the unyielding core of Stoicism, the bedrock upon which a resilient life is built. It is a philosophy not of suppression, but of refinement. It is the art of living in accordance with nature, both outer and inner, and finding contentment in the only place it can truly be found, within the fortress of your own mind. When you encounter obstacles, when you face criticism, when your plans go awry, remember the Emperor's admonition. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the turning point. This is the turning point. This is the moment you reclaim your agency. This inward turn is not easy. It requires courage. It requires diligence. It demands that you confront your own limitations, your own irrationalities, your own ego. It means choosing the harder path of self-examination over the easier path of external blame. But on this path lies true freedom, true control, and a quiet strength that the world cannot take away. If you find yourself overwhelmed, lost in the noise, remember the words of the philosopher-king. His wisdom is not ancient history. It is a living blueprint for navigating the modern maze. It is a call to arms for your own soul. The battle is within. The victory is yours to claim. The Emperor's truth is the modern man's salvation.